shit what is going on over at Sony, man. Two major articles today. I know, pardon me, I said I was not going to talk about Sony anymore, but two articles in one fucking day. One of them not even talking about PlayStation. But you best believe this is going to hit PlayStation in a major fucking way. How could it fucking not? It is involving the company in a big fucking way, okay? The first article I'm going to talk about is Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures is losing a lot of money. Financially, it is in the red. Red is not good, okay? If you think red is good, let me remind you the PS3 was hemorrhaging money. Financially, it was in the red. Not a good place to be. When PS4 came out, PlayStation was hemorrhaging money bad. Fucking losing shitloads of money. It was financially in the red. That's where PlayStation was. Fuck Sony Pictures, you are in that place now. The article is linked down below. I don't remember the exact figure, if it was like 80 million or 800 million or 80 billion. It's a big fucking number, okay? This is, again, one of those times where I remind you that when I talk about Sony, I am not talking about one product that this one company sells. This company, to me, because I have been a Sony supporter for many years. I am 33 years old. I've been around since Sony wasn't making PlayStation. Okay, I have had a Sony VCR. I've had a Sony home phone. Yes, them phones with the cords that were connected to the wall that you had to have on your ear, and you really couldn't walk anywhere unless you stretched that cord the fuck out. Okay, I've had one of those. I've had a VCR. I've had a television. I've had a cell phone. I've had remember those little brick phones and first phones? Yes, I had one of those. What else? I've had a Sony DVD player. Everybody had a Sony DVD player because that was the only brand when they first came out. I buy Blu-rays, which are Sony patent. I have a 4K fucking Blu-ray, which is a Sony patent product, okay? Please believe Sony is bought by me, okay? I do purchase Sony products. I have a PS4. I have a PS2. I have a PlayStation 1. But PlayStation is not Sony's main fucking product. A lot of you out there believe that it is, which leaves me to believe that you guys are no older than 10. When I have conversations with you, I'm surprised that you're fucking 25. How the fuck did you make it to that age believing Sony's only product is PlayStation? How could we believe that Sony with PlayStation is safe? How could you believe that PlayStation should continue investing in a company that is financially as unstable as Sony is when it comes to the overall company? This is the same company that had to sell Visa, or whatever the fuck it is. That little computer thing that you saw in the Uncharted 4 game, that same computer, yes, Sony had to sell that because it wasn't making money. And in order to keep money coming into Sony during the PS3, Sony sold that. Okay? Sony has gone on record as in to say they want to get rid of Sony televisions, the television studios, animation studios, things that are not bringing in a whole hell of a lot of money. They want to get rid of those. Sony televisions, those things used to be major in the 90s. We're in 2017 now. Samsung is whooping that ass. Panasonic is beating that ass. Mitsubishi is beating that ass. Vizio is beating that ass. Sony is pretty much falling off the map at this point when it comes to anything that isn't PlayStation. And PlayStation has started to show slowing down. And I know you're like, that's fucking impossible. But here's where the second article comes into the fucking conversation. The second article says that if you go in there and you read it, sales have started to slow up. They've had the past 3 months, if not a little bit more, be kind of a hardship for Sony PlayStation sales. And it makes sense. I mean, it really does when you think about it. I mean, E3 was just a rehash of 2016. The games that should have been shown during the press conference were not. The pre-press conference was where you really wanted to pay attention, because if you didn't, you missed games like Gran Turismo, you missed games like Knack 2, and other games that were not announced in 2016 and should have been in the 2017 show because they were fucking brand new. And then when you watched the 2017 show, you were like, I know about God of War, I know about Detroit Becoming Human, I know about Days Gone. It was nothing new. We already know all of these games. They could have shown us Final Fantasy VII. Didn't show us. They didn't show us anything for Kingdom Hearts 3. They didn't show us anything that we actually wanted to see. They showed us everything that we had already seen. They might have showed it to us in like 2 or 3 minute longer clips. But this is all shit we already have known. And that's why their E3 conference, in a lot of views, was really bad. But that aside, it makes a lot of sense that the PlayStation 4 sales have started to go like downwards, okay? Because, I mean, think about it. You're talking about coming up on 4 years. And while it's 60 million, that's a lot of units sold, okay? And eventually the sales have got to stop, okay? This isn't the PS2 generation. This isn't the PS2 generation where people are, you know, hey man, I can buy multiple consoles like that. This is not that generation. And if you haven't noticed, the PS4 sales prices are not steadily declining like the PS2. The PS2 was under $100 pretty fast. The PS4 isn't. The PS4 is still above $200. If it was below $200, oh yeah, people be out the door all the time buying PS4s all the time. I've said it before, I'll say it again. PS4 is not going to break 100 million. It's not. That's a pipe dream. If you believe that, please wake up. Okay? It's not going to. Another reason it slowed down again is because of how many, the quantity. Okay? It's just, that's a lot of fucking PS4s. People are not in a rush to go out and buy another fucking Blu-ray player. The marketing for the PS4 Pro is another reason these things have slowed up. Unfortunately, PlayStation has marketed that PS4 Pro horribly. With the upscale and all that shit, unfortunately, Microsoft's marketing is a shitload better. We know they lied about the 4K. We know. But we don't care. We don't give a damn. That's not the point. We know the price point is way higher than it probably should be, but we don't care. That's not the point here. Here's the thing. Microsoft has had all this time to figure out and watch Sony and watch their marketing. Sony has had a full year to get this shit right, and they've sat on their ass. Okay, you can sit there and be like, that's not true, but it is. It's 100% true. They've had a full year, and they've sat on their ass with their thumb jammed right up that fucking ass. Okay, can you name 5 games off the top of your head that are pro-compatible? Probably not. And I don't mean Uncharted 4, God of War 3 Remastered, The Last of Us Remastered. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about, can you name recent games that have come out in the last, 4 months that are pro-compatible? Probably not, because Sony doesn't release that information. They don't go out of their way to go, hey man, this is the next new game, pro-compatible, and you need to go out and buy a Pro. Their marketing on the Pro is horrible. It's just piss poor. So again, it just makes sense. Okay, and I did that whole video talking about the PSN going up in cost across the pond. You mean to tell me that you don't think this horrible fucking news is going to affect ours here? You really got a lot to fucking learn. after the disaster of the PS3. That's the whole truth right there. The PS3 is the reason we pay for PSN now. Not PlayStation Now. I mean the PlayStation Network. That's the reason we pay for it now, is because of all the financial bullshit that they had going on in the PS3. Now we gotta deal with the bullshit that they have going on now. Okay? And you can sit there and be like, oh, that's bullshit. No, it's really not. PS3 was free PlayStation Plus. PS4 isn't. But they had PS2 money to burn through, which they burn and piss their way through with the PS3. They didn't have that. They don't have any of that in the bank anymore. They burned through the entire stash with the PS3. That's why it's not there anymore. I'm telling you. You can call me crazy, you can call me a conspiracy, all you want to. I don't really give a fuck. This is simple mathematics. This is simple money situations, okay? It's easy. And one more thing that was in that article that I happened to notice that just stuck out. PlayStation has withdrew 2 million in their projected sales of the PS4. 2 million. It went from 20 million to 18 million. That means PlayStation has gone from, we want to sell 20 million units of the PS4 by the end of this year, to withdrawing that statement to going, you know what? We only hope to sell 18 million. And I know people are going to say, that's not that bad. But that's terrible. To withdraw your original guess, okay, on any number. I mean, first of all, you're leading in a major way. What made you change your number? Was it the fact the Xbox One X has now come out with a statement saying they have 80 games off the jump and they've listed every single one, something you, PlayStation, failed to do a year ago? Is it the fact the Switch is now the hottest ticket in town? What made you change your number? Again, this is all stuff, like I said, and I've said this before in past videos, I don't plan on talking about PlayStation or Xbox as much, but I could not say I'm not going to talk about them because, again, these are two articles that came out just today, and when this video goes live, it'll be yesterday. These are affecting PlayStation because one of them is PlayStation and the other one is Sony Pictures, and being at Sony, it all affects the company that is owned PlayStation, is Sony. And I know a lot of you out there, again, don't understand that Sony is bigger than PlayStation. They make more than just PlayStation. A lot of people don't get that. I myself do. And that's why I talk about it. So, you know, why would you think one doesn't affect the other? Get what I'm saying to you? After watching the disaster with PS3, why would you think the PS4 is anywhere near exempted? You see what I'm saying? You would be a fool to think it's not. Oh, well, PS4 has been keeping Sony afloat. That right there, my friend, is the statement that makes you a moron. The PS4 is what kept Sony afloat. What's going to keep the PS4 afloat now that it's starting to show slowing down? Especially when PlayStation has divisions in PlayStation that are not moving. VR, standstill, doing nothing. Vita, Sony killed that. What happens? And that is where I leave you, because nobody knows what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be really weird to watch. It's going to be really entertaining to see, because Sony doesn't produce their own games. They rely on other studios which they have paid money for exclusive content from. Naughty Dog is its own studio. Sony pays them money to get the game on their product. When Sony doesn't fork over the money, Naughty Dog can then put the game on other fucking products, which is why Rare had games on Nintendo back in the day, but now Rare puts their games on Microsoft. Understand the concept? So trust me, when that money dries up from Sony, you will see these games that have been on Sony's product exclusively start going to other consoles. Sony doesn't really have any actual first-party games. They're third-party, first-party exclusives. Same thing with Microsoft. So again, what happens? Deuces.